Okay, all my clocks say it's about 6 p.m. Eastern Time. My clock actually says 4 p.m. because I'm in Montana. Anyway, welcome everybody to Red Bear's PrepNet. I'll be your host tonight, Montana Jim. Red Bear's feeling under the weather. So let's get sort of started there. And is there anybody who wishes to check into the net? Please come with your name and state, please. Okay, we'll give it one more time. Anybody who wishes to check in or register to the net, please come down with your name and state, please. Okay, okie dokie. For those new to the net, we discuss everything prepping here. We break the prepping subject up into little bitty bite-sized pieces, and it is all in a very general sense to get people thinking about what things they might not be thinking about in preparing. So with that, I'm going to go a quick break. We do have a YouTube channel, and on that YouTube channel, I do post an expanded presentation of what I'm about to give tonight to get the subject rolling. And it has additional information, has visuals to help you better understand what we talk about here, because radio medium is not necessarily the best for everything. And to find that, go to YouTube, and up in the search box, enter the @ PrepNet-Talk2Me. And you'll see our website or our YouTube site. Hit that, and you'll be able to view any of the expanded presentations and any comment videos I make about what we actually discuss during a roundtable. Let me break again. We also, on the YouTube channel, I record these sessions. So if you happen to miss one, you'll be able to go back and review the whole thing, including our roundtable, because a lot of the stuff that gets talked about in the roundtable doesn't necessarily get put up on the site. And we also have a Gmail email address. So if you have any questions or anything, that address is prepnetch14@gmail.com. And any questions, put question in the subject line and ask your question, and we'll try and get it answered or even bring it up in a future net. So with that being said, let's see if we have anybody else that wants to register for the net tonight. Please come now with your name and state. Okay, hearing none, let's get going. Okay, tonight's subject is our All About Electricity Part 5, and it's about large battery bank basics. Now, last week we covered different types of batteries for most portable operational needs that you might have. And as you saw, there are many ways to power your portable items like flashlights, lights, and radios using different types of small batteries. This segment, which will be 9 to 10 minutes long, will be about large battery banks that contain many 100 amp hour or larger batteries you would need to run large or more permanent electrical needs. You need to have a basic understanding of the different configurations of battery banks before you can design your own to fit your particular needs. Break. Now, regardless of how you charge your battery bank, we'll cover that in other sessions, there are several key factors to consider regarding battery bank differences. There are so many things you need to understand before you can design your battery bank that it's hard to determine where to start, but I'll do my best. Also, the expanded presentation on our YouTube channel will have more explanation and diagrams for better understanding. First, some basics. We all know a 12-volt system is not exactly 12 volts. It's just the easy way we refer to a system that provides a nominal voltage of 12.8 volts and up to 14.2 volts maximum when fully charged. Your car has a 12-volt system and is a very common voltage for a battery bank. Right? For your battery bank, the voltage is important, but what is more important is the capacity of the battery. This is noted as amp hours and will allow you to calculate what you can run and for how long. What are amp hours? The simple example is if I draw 1 amp to run a light from my battery bank and run that for 1 hour, that equals 1 amp hour. If I have a 100 amp hour battery, then on paper, I can run that 1 amp light for 100 hours. Right. If the battery bank you have is not big enough to power what you need, you can increase the total amp hours of your battery bank. To have more capacity, you can connect many 12-volt batteries in parallel to get more capacity or amp hours. Connecting batteries in parallel means connecting the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. The voltage will remain the same, but the amount of power or capacity will increase. Right? One example, if you connect two 100 amp hour 12-volt batteries in parallel, your capacity will now be 200 amp hours at 12 volts. That's 100 amp hours times 2, which equals 200 amp hours. You will be able to run more items at one time or run more power-hungry items. The expanded presentation shows diagrams of connecting batteries in parallel. Great. However, running the more electricity-hungry devices will pull more amps, which will require larger and more expensive cables so as not to cause wire overheating or a fire. It is very important to size the wires between batteries and the wires from your battery bank for safety and with the least amount of voltage and amperage losses. At some point, a 12-volt battery will not fit your needs. So what can you do? Right? There are also 24-volt and 48-volt systems used in battery banks, and they have some advantages over the 12-volt system. So how would a 24 or a 48-volt system help me? First, this is an example of how much current is drawn from a 12-volt, 48-volt, and 24-volt battery bank. If I need to run a 1500-watt AC heater from a 12-volt system, it will draw 125 amps at 12 volts. To run that same 1500-watt AC heater from a 24-volt system, it would only draw 62 amps at 24 volts. This would require smaller wires than with the 12-volt system. Right? And running that same 1500-watt AC heater from a 12-volt system would only draw 31 amps at 48 volts, requiring even smaller size wires. This subject will be discussed in more detail when we talk about large lithium iron phosphate batteries. Now, there are not that many 24 or 48-volt batteries, so how do I create them? Connect 12-volt batteries in series to increase their voltage to either 24 volts or 48 volts. Right? An example of a series connection is take two 100 amp hour 12-volt batteries. Connect the negative of one 12-volt battery to the positive of the second 12-volt battery. Now connect your 24-volt load to the unused positive of the second battery and the negative of the first battery. You now have 24 volts at 100 amp hours, which requires a smaller wire to your load. Right? Our 48-volt example would take 4 100 amp hour 12-volt batteries, connecting them in series to make a 24 or a 48-volt battery bank. The positive of battery 1 would be connected to the negative of battery 2. Then the positive of battery 2 would be connected to the negative of battery 3. And the positive of battery 3 would be connected to the negative of battery 4. Now connect your 48-volt load to the unused negative of battery 1 and the positive of battery 2 for a voltage of 48 volts at 100 amp hours. And again, the expanded presentation shows diagrams connecting batteries in series, and it actually makes a lot more sense when you get to see the visuals. Right? An important note here. The components you use in your battery bank must be able to handle the same voltage as your battery bank. This includes charge controllers, solar panels, DC circuit breakers, DC to DC converters, DC to AC inverters, and DC voltage and amperage meters. Don't connect a 12-volt DC to AC inverter to a 24-volt battery, etc. More details will be discussed in future sessions. Break. Now, to provide even more capacity, you can connect the batteries in a series parallel configuration. That's in series to create 24-volt batteries and parallel to increase the total amp hours of your battery bank. We'll create my first 24-volt battery bank using 6 12-volt 100 amp hour batteries. Make a 24-volt battery from 12-volt batteries 1 and 2 by connecting the positive of battery 1 to the negative of battery 2. Make a second 24-volt battery from 12-volt batteries 3 and 4. And finally, a third 12-volt battery from 24-volt battery from 12-volt batteries 5 and 6. Great. Now connect the unused negative post of each 24-volt battery to the negative bus bar. Next, connect the unused positive post of each 24-volt battery to the positive bus bar. Now connect the load to the negative and positive bus bars to use your new 24-volt 300 amp hour battery bank. And again, the expanded presentation shows diagrams of connecting batteries in a parallel series configuration. Break. I hope this explains somewhat the different battery bank configurations you can use in designing your electricity emergency backup, including the voltage of your battery bank and the amount of amp hours needed. Next week, we'll continue our All About Electricity series and discuss using large lead-acid batteries. If you have any questions about what we've discussed here tonight, please ask during our roundtable. Or you can send your questions to prepnetch14@gmail.com and enter question in the subject line. And again, I cannot urge you enough to view the expanded presentation on our YouTube channel for additional information on our topic. With that, I'm going to give a quick break. Is there anybody who is late and wishes to register for the net? Please come now, giving your name and your state. Okay, hearing none, we'll get the roundtable started. Bob P. in Virginia, do you have any comments, questions, concerns about what the topic was for tonight? Please come.
Now, on the batteries now in a prepping situation, are you liking high cycle batteries, regular batteries? What do you guys use?
Okay, good question. And if you'll notice at the very beginning, this was part 5. We have an all about electricity series. I don't know how long it's going to be. I would suggest you go to our YouTube site and take a look at all those. Some of this will be covered. We haven't covered it all yet, but the quick answer is I would use lithium iron phosphate batteries. And in two more weeks, we start covering specifically the lithium ion. You want to get batteries that have a lot of capacity, that you can use their capacity, and that they have a lot of cycles in them. And next week's topic on the lead acid batteries, you'll probably get the idea. I'm not a big fan of them for various reasons. Does that sort of give you an idea?
Yeah, that clears that for me. Thank you.
Okay, right now we've talked about portable batteries, bugging out and having electrical power, etc. But we're now concentrating on you're either bugging in or you're going to a place where you can actually have something set up permanently, so you can have a more normal life than playing Grizzly Adams. With that, I'll do a quick break, see if there's anybody else that wishes to check in. Please come now with your name and your state. Okay, real good. Well, let's go on down to Donna MT in Montana. Do you have any questions, comments, etc. for Vanette?
I just have a comment. I came across an article a day or so ago on sodium ion batteries, and I was just wondering if you or anybody has any experience or any information on sodium ion.
Interesting. You should bring that topic up. I just watched a YouTube from a guy I get a lot of information from, and he just did his second review on those, and he does not recommend them. There's a bunch of problems with them. They're about 3 times more expensive than lithium iron phosphate batteries are. They do have a lot more cycles, like, I don't know, 20,000 to 30,000 cycles, but they have a very, very wide voltage range, and if you're going to set up a 12-volt system, they really don't work well. If you're setting up a 24 or 48-volt system, they might work okay, but he just really, for the bang for the buck, just does not recommend them. So just to let you know, and that's kind of interesting, you found that out just as I sort of watched that. You have anything else there for us, Donna?
Not right now. I just wanted to bring that up because what little I read, they did say that they're really right now not the best.
Right, and there are a lot of chemistries on the lithium side. There's lithium ion. They have pros and cons. Their voltage thing is a big con on them. There's lithium iron phosphate, which is a very close replacement for 12-volt batteries. And it's one of the most popular, and you can get a lot of places you can get the batteries and all the various types of equipment that goes with them. You know, there's the sodium you talked about. There's a one called lithium titanate, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Really good for super cold things, but their biggest battery they make at present is only 45 amp hours, which is not that good, and they are much more expensive. And for a 12-volt battery, one, which is what you're going to have to do, it takes 6 cells, where lithium ion takes 4, and so it just So there's a whole bunch out there, but there's only a couple that are really good for the type of thing we're talking about of running things in your house. Let's do a quick break and see if anybody else wants to check in. And anybody who's listening, please check in so we can get you on the list there. Please come with your name and state. Okie doke. Let's drop down onto John in California. John, any comments, questions, statements, anything that you have done as far as the the battery basis that we've sort of talked about, or basically anything? Come now. Okay, we're going to throw back out there and see if John is still there from California. Any comments, John?
Nothing really. I did have a life battery. I was using a 12 volt life battery using for a self-contained GMRS repeater with a trickle charging solar panel, which was very good. The smart meter was on constantly, but unfortunately, all that was lost in the Los Angeles fire that back in January. So I need to start all over again on my prepping stuff.
Okay, John, sorry to hear about that, about the losing, not only the repeater, but you may have lost other things. But yeah, it's a pain to start over. So, yes, I would definitely encourage you to go to our YouTube channel. We've covered a lot of things, not just electric things, about bugging out and making a plan, food, et cetera, et cetera. And there are many more that we're gonna cover in a general manner. But again, just to get you back to thinking about what you need to do. There might be some things up there that you might not have thought of, and then use what you've already done to help improve on that. But yeah, I think the lithium ions are good. Hopefully you did have a charge controller on that. Just putting a charger on without a charge controller, which is a separate piece of equipment, you can end up ruining the batteries. But anyway, anything else you wanted to bring up there, John?
No, that's it for now. Thank you for the advice. I'll definitely check the YouTube.
Okay, good deal. Because when we first started this, I didn't do that, and then it just became very obvious that there are some things you have to have visuals, and so that's where I came up with, okay, we just do this on the YouTube, and hopefully it's better. Like I said, there's a lot more information. There's sometimes more information than just visuals to what I've said, because I wanted to try and keep each little presentation, 6 to 7 minutes. Unfortunately, this one was a little bit longer. But so let's do a quick break, see if anybody else wants to check in, and we'll go back up to the top. Please come with your name and state to register for the PrepNet. Okay, hearing nothing. Let's go back up to the top. Bob, there in Virginia, do you have anything else you'd like to comment on? Since we've had a good one go around here, and everything, or any words of wisdom, jewels of knowledge that you can help us with?
Well, no, I'm not on the wisdom end. I did, while we were talking, pull up your YouTube channel, and when we're done here, I'm going to spend some time on there.
Well, yeah, I'd appreciate that, and hopefully, you'll get something out of it. And if you if you find that we didn't cover something or of a subject that we've already posted, again, in the description on the it's on the front page. There should be the link to our Gmail account to where you can ask specific questions, and hopefully we'll be able to give a little bit more. We are not again doing very detailed how-tos like a lot of the things they're doing on YouTube, because everybody's situation is much different. I'm in Montana. At 6,000 feet, I don't have to worry about, well, let's see. If I worry about flooding, the rest of the United States probably isn't here. But so the things I have to worry about are different than what, say, you in Virginia or John there in California have to deal with. So everybody's prepping thing is different. So we're just trying to provide general information to get people thinking about what's going on. With that, let's go throw it back to Donna MT there, and have anything else to add.
No, I just want to say that the YouTube channel is quite a nice addition. Little extra stuff there. It's quite enjoyable and very informative, I think.
Okay, well, good deal. We appreciate that. I do put a little bit of time into it, but okay, well, let's just go drop down and we'll hit John one more time, and then since nothing else is going, we'll go ahead and close the net. John, anything else you wanted to bring up this afternoon?
Super doing that. Like I said, I'll check out the YouTube channel and knowledge on that. Thanks again.
Hey, John, not a problem. Not a problem at all. And just let you know, you are coming in a little bit broken. So I don't know if you've just got bad connection to the POC side or what's going on. So, okay, with that, I'm going to go ahead and put the channel back to regular operations. We do meet here every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, next week we're going to talk about the large lead-acid batteries, and of course their pros, which there are one or two, and their cons, which are 12,000. But anyway, so hope to hear you and have you guys back here next week. Appreciate your participation. If it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do this now. So with that, I'll return the channel back to regular use. And thanks a lot, guys.